Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Jetzt aber Attacke da vorne. Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move!
Im schöneren Rennsport.
Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany 2025, round 7 of the season, the first of 2 races this weekend. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Styrian Mountains. We are in Austria. We're in the clouds. You can see there from our pictures, a big crowd here as the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany visits its 5th country this year. This legendary series, a classic year, and we are currently in the Austrian sunshine. Air temperature 15.8 degrees centigrade, track temperature 18.7 degrees centigrade. That was not the case yesterday. Yesterday afternoon in qualifying, we had the wind, we had the rain, we had a bit of sun. It was really, really tricky conditions. But it was Robert de Haan. That's a good hat to be having in this weather. It was Robert de Haan who scored a pole position, his 6th ever pole position in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. And boy, did he need it, because the last time out at the Sachsenring, he had a torrid time. In the first race of the weekend, he finished in 5th place, had a fuel pump issue, the engine cutting out. In the second race of the weekend, was leading until the penultimate lap. That puncture, he may well be reflecting on that when the season is done and dusted, because the puncture robbed him of points and propelled Alessandro Ghiretti, who went into Sachsenring level in the points. He is now 34 points clear with just 4 races remaining. Potentially, mathematically, Ghiretti could win the championship this weekend. Potentially tomorrow. He would need Robert de Haan's bad luck to get significantly worse. Unlikely, but a possibility. But he is on the crest of a wave at the moment. We say congratulations, Alessandro Ghiretti, the Porsche Junior, and now the brand new Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup champion. He clinched it at Monza last weekend, beating Robert de Haan in that. And de Haan is looking for vengeance. He looked very downbeat after Sachsenring, and he was pretty downbeat after Monza. He wants to make up for it, and that pole position is certainly a sign of his intention. So he's on pole position in the overall race. Pole position in the rookies is that man there, Joe Warhurst. Yeah, we're looking at you too, mate. Because he had a stonking qualifying yesterday, really mastered the changing conditions here at the Red Bull Ring. As it put the car 6th on the grid in his rookie season. That is a very good job. The local wildlife, well, they might look chilled at the moment. You just wait till this lot fire up. They won't know what's hit them. There is nothing like Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. The noise is deafening, and on the home straight here, which is where my commentary position is, the grandstands magnify the sound even more. You cannot even hear yourself think. It is spectacular at this circuit. High up in the Styrian Mountains, we are about 677 meters above sea level on the pit straight. So a really high altitude circuit, a real test for the drivers. And as already mentioned, yesterday's qualifying was really tricky. We've got some additional drivers on the grid, and one in particular really impressed, Wouter Boerkamps. He, if you were watching Super Cup last week at Monza, took a win there. He's in the Team GP Elite car as a substitute driver. We saw him in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux for a couple of races in the last 2 years, but he's taken a number of years off from racing, and he has come back, making his debut in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and has proven to be very rapid, 8th on the grid. We've also got the very impressive 19-year-old Norwegian Oscar Biksrud from Norway, sim racer, very, very rapid. He's had a good qualifying as well. And we welcome Alexandra Vateva as a guest driver. She's qualified 22nd, which is no mean feat in a series that is competitive as Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. So she has also impressed here. We're really looking forward to seeing her racing this weekend and hopefully at Hockenheim in a few weeks' time as well. But our focus now on the first of 2 races this weekend at the Red Bull Ring, where it's a circuit. It's about 4.318 kilometers around. There's 10 turns, 7 of them to the right, 3 to the left. A track that has a lot of overtaking opportunities, particularly between turn 1 and 2. And this is 2 here that is taken absolutely flat out, then up the hill towards turn 3. We'll have a look at the grid. Robert de Haan on pole. Great job from Alex Tauscher alongside him. New Super Cup champion Alessandro Ghiretti has Marvin Klein. He might be a bit dangerous from row 2 as well. Janis Stiak and the rookie pole sitter Joe Warhurst. They line up on row 3. On row 4, Huub van Eindhoven. He had a good qualifying for tomorrow, and Wouter Burdekamp alongside him. Ariel Levy, he'll be a danger man from 9th with Sebastian Freimuth. Good qualifying from him on row 5 of the grid. Then on row 6, Jan Seifert. Theo Overhaus, I think he was a bit disappointed with 12th on the grid, ahead of Matheus Ferreira and Keanu Bloom. The home race for Keanu. He's been excited about this all year long. Senna van Serlen has Flint Schuring for company on row 8. Flint had a rubbish qualifying session, really couldn't get to grips with things. Sasha Norden also disappointed with his qualifying on row 9 with Jonas Greif for company. Then the pole sitter in the Pro-Ams, haven't mentioned them yet, have we? Søren Spreng has Ahmed Al-Shahab alongside him. Then the substitute Oscar Bixrud with Alexandra Vateva on row 11. Row 12, Michael Strey, the leader in the Pro-Am Championship, and Michael Essmann alongside him. On row 13, Kai Pfister, regular guest, birthday boy from Thursday, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, not the birthday present that he wanted on row 13. It was 20th birthday, so we say happy birthday to him and the hopes to make a bit of progress from there. He lost a front splitter in qualifying yesterday. So a quick look at the point standings. Alessandro Ghiretti leads Robert de Haan by a monstrous 34 points. So whatever happens after this race, Alessandro Ghiretti will still be leading the points championships. In the rookie championship, Sasha Norden's enormous lead has been eaten away. Now Joe Warhurst is just 1 point behind. Matheus Ferreira is 35 points behind, but Joe Warhurst will fancy his chances to get to the top of the rookie standings in this race. In the Pro-Ams, Michael Strey has 36 points over Ahmed Al-Shahab and Michael Essmann 3rd. Søren Spreng, 2-time defending champion, is mathematically out of it already. He's down in 4th place, 103 points adrift. He's had a really tough season and will probably want to start looking towards next year as soon as possible. In the team standings, Schumacher CLRT lead Team GP Elite by 37 points ahead of Proton Huber Competition. So lots of championships. We are getting towards the business end of the season. So plenty to be thinking about this weekend. We have a race today, a race tomorrow, then just 2 more at the Hockenheim Ring in October, and then we are done for another year as we look at Michael Essmann. And now, clearance from the back. The engine notes fall, the engine notes rise. The lights are off. Let's go racing at the Red Bull Ring. A good start from Robert de Haan. A run of about 215 meters in towards turn 1. Some 3-4 abreast driving as they head into that turn. So around turn 1 we come, then into turn 2. This is the turn that has taken absolutely flat out. Some great overtaking opportunities, some opportunities to slipstream as well. Up the hill into turn 3 they come, and to the outside. That's a great start from Alessandro Ghiretti. He goes deep into turn 3, very deep indeed. In fact, that allows Robert de Haan to keep hold of that lead. So the car's just shuffling in the background. Looks like Joe Warhurst has dropped back a little bit at the start of the race, but look at his challenge towards the front. Once again, Alessandro Ghiretti, Robert de Haan, the target cars behind us, Janis Stiak in there as well. So the rest of the cars just sorting themselves out, but look at this battle for the lead. Robert de Haan with a wheel onto the grass. There's Ariel Levy a little bit further back as well. Alex Tauscher has been shuffled down into 3rd place. There he is looking back. at Alex Tauscher from the perspective as Alessandro Ghiretti, but Robert de Haan was looking under threat from Alessandro Ghiretti for much of that lap, and Joe Warhurst has dropped a long way back. Sasha Norden's had a great start in the rookies. In fact, Matthias Ferreira is the leading rookie driver, so all that hard work and quality for Joe Warhurst. And there's Sasha Norden. This is serious because it's for the lead in the rookie championship. The rest of the cars need to keep inside those three bollards. Back end and Sasha Norden sliding around the corner. Track limits, always an issue here at the Red Bull Ring, so really important that the drivers keep it within, particularly within those bollards. So here we go then, is Robert de Haan who leads the way, Alessandro Ghiretti in second, Alex Tauscher, Joe Warhurst down to third in the rookie. So the leading rookie, Matthias Ferreira. So out we comes one of the ID racing cars as well. There's Flint Schuring in there. He's trying to push his way forwards from a difficult qualifying session. So it's a 13th place Keanu Bloom, local driver, in the very bright green and yellow car. There's Mikael Schrei and Mikael Essman all running together as well. So many challenges for positions. Now Marvin Klein trying to come to the inside of Alex Tauscher. That's into turn 4. And that is Tauscher, I think, who went a bit wide, got a wheel onto the dirt, keeps it all going. So Robert de Haan and Alessandro Ghiretti, the two sparring partners, they've been fighting all season long. Ghiretti will want to get past Robert de Haan. There's Sasha Norden making up for that tough qualifying this morning. He's up to second in the rookie, so if things remain as they are now, he will retain the lead in the rookie championship. But Joe Warhurst, we saw at the Saxon Ring last time out, he does not give up. Flint Schuring, who's currently working his way, he's in traffic. A lot of cars in front, a lot of cars behind as well. So out towards turn 10 they come. There's a car going very wide. There's one of the bollards disappearing off into the distance. The drivers with track limits, really important to keep it right. Here comes Joe Warhurst now, trying to come back on the outside of Sebastian Freimuth. So Warhurst had gone from 6th to 17th, now challenging for 16th. So a really difficult start for him. The lead two, having broken clear, the fight for third place is on though. So Marvin Klein and Janis Stiak fighting with each other for the last of the podium positions. There's Zuren Spreng as well. He is the leading driver in the Pro-Ams. Look at this traffic jam as they come up over the hill. Walter Burkamp said keep an eye on him. He's up to 5th place already. 3 abreast they head out towards turn 4. The pack running as one. On the inside there is the 98 car, and that is Marvin Klein going deep off into the gravel. He loses a load of places. He's able to regather, but the rest of the field comes streaming through. Huub van Eindhoven in the number 26 car. He's in the battle as well. So many fights going on. There's Theo Overhaus, Flint Schuring. So many cars qualifying in a position that was a bit further back than they expected, having to fight their way through the pack, and it means that we're getting to see some great racing here in race 13 of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. There is Joe Warhurst trying to push his way back. Third in the rookies is not what he had in mind when he got out of bed this morning. Ahead of him, Sebastian Freimuth. Out onto the pit straight they come once again. The incident involving Marvin Klein has been noted by our race stewards. So there is Flint Schuring trying to work his way back up. It's Theo Overhaus that he is challenging at the moment. The Porsche Junior, Theo Overhaus, with the rookie champion from Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup and the outgoing rookie champion in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, trying to work his way back up through the pack. Looking from the top of the hill of turn 3. A good overtaking opportunity, but so many challenges for position. Flint Schuring's made his way up to 10th place, so making good progress at the start of this race. So de Haan leads the way by 0.6 of a second from Alessandro Ghiretti. Right, let's have a look at the start here. What on earth happened to Joe Warhurst? He just got mugged off the line. He just really didn't get away, did he? So the rest of the cars going either side of him as he went up the hill. As his stomach would have been sinking there after all that qualifying. All the cars going wide. Track limits, what track limits? Turn 1, then get away with it at the very start. But now the turn 1 track limits warnings are starting to come in. We got one for Sebastian Freimuth. And we've got one for Sören Spreng as well. Warnings for exceeding track limits. Also, Ahmed Al-Shihab. There go. Well, all three of the track marker bollards. I think the race steward won't be too happy about that. And Wouter Burkamp, there is Marvin Klein's moment when he went wide onto the gravel and he saw the whole field streaming through, and there was a spinning car as well. So who was that? That was the 27, Matías Ferreira. So the driver that was leading in the rookies, going spinning out on turn 10. He's able to rejoin. He's kept it out the barrier. So the leader in the rookies is now at the absolute back of the pack. It means that Sasha Norden is now the new leader in the rookies. So how things turn around. Joe Warhurst, second in the rookies. And on her debut in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Alexandra Vateva into a podium position in the rookies, 21st overall. Told you she was good, didn't I? Looking down at turn 4 once again. Wouter Burkamp, well, everybody said, watch out for the number 30 guy because he is going to be really quick. He's up into third place now. He's just mugging Janis Stiak. In fact, Janis Stiak has just got him back again. So he did briefly get in front of Stiak. Now Stiak is back, but Wouter Burkamp took his first ever win last weekend at Monza in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. He's a driver that we saw racing in other series quite a few years ago. But he had a number of years off. I think didn't really have the budget to go racing. We saw him guesting in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux a couple of times at Assen. Had a couple of third places there. As we see an investigation that is between Matías Ferreira and Sebastian Freimer. Hey, they're in the same team. That could be awkward. Yes, but Wouter Burkamp has really decided to come back into it this year. Has been really good in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. Hoping we're going to see more of him next year in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. So he took that win at Monza last weekend, showed how good he is and proving it again. He's just been shuffled off the podium position. Well, you've got to get up pretty early in the morning to put one over Janis Stiak, I have to tell you, and he's going to have another target car homing in on him as well, because Alex Tauscher is just behind him. But such a solid job from him. Anyway, focus to the front. Robert de Haan seems to have covered off Alessandro Ghiretti for the time being. Riding on board with Keanu Blum. This is his home race. Great to come to the home of Austrian racer Keanu Blum, who we love having in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and he has done a few laps around this track in testing and in practice. So it's Norden who leads in the rookies. Warhurst in second. The leading Pro-Am at the moment is Sören Spreng. He's up to 16th place, so good job by him. After his excursion into the gravel, Marvin Klein is in 17th place. Right, track limits. I have got a list on my screen of cars that have exceeded track limits and are under investigation. They are, well, I would read the numbers out to you. It take a very long time. So many of the cars that we are looking at are under investigation for track limits, significant ones. Probably Wouter Burkamp, who's had an investigation for track limits up on turn 10, has had a warning. That's only one of the absolute front runners, but many of the cars now falling foul of the stewards, and we may well see penalties being issued as the challenges for position continue. And that looks like Theo Overhaus and Flint Schering going hammer and tongs at the moment. So Schering up to 9th place as well after such a tough qualifying session, certainly making up for it now, working his way back up through the pack. And we're just taking a look at a replay here. And Theo Overhaus getting into the door of Jan Seifert. Seifert going very wide, regathers it all up. But this is proper elbows out racing, is what we come to expect from Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. On board with Flint Schering, who just bides his time, and he saw those two cars getting together in front of him, and he says, I'll have that, thank you very much. Certainly Theo Overhaus was to incur the wrath of Flint Schering first, as we look at Flint Schering's teammate Alessandro Ghiretti, currently in second place, the leader in the championship. Remember, he doesn't need to get past Robert de Haan. De Haan needs all the points he can get. He certainly needs to win this race. Ghiretti just needs to bring it home, not record a non-finish. If he records a non-finish, then the championship will be thrown wide open once again. The investigations continue. The incident between 34 and 98, that's Theo Overhaus and Jan Seifert, has been investigated and no further action, but Sebastian Freimuth has been given 2 penalty laps for causing a collision. So car 32 will have to pass through the penalty box for 2 laps at no more than 60 kilometers an hour. That would be the equivalent to adding about 5 seconds onto his lap time as Flint Schering continues his march through the pack. So that's Jan Seifert that he's now dispatched. So Flint Schering really moving his way through the pack. Remember, he qualified a long way down the order, but he's fought his way back, taking them one at a time. That's a replay of that Theo Overhaus moment. That's not a replay, that was live, wasn't it? So that was Theo Overhaus, maybe returning the compliment a little bit. So the drivers just not scared to get their elbows out here. As we look now at a car, that's Ariel Levy into the gravel. So Ariel Levy, the number 25 car, he was running in 6th place, but he's now into the gravel. And I think this may well bring out a safety car. Yes, it does. So suddenly, everybody's going to be slowed down. And it was Theo Overhaus and Senna van Serlen who had got together. And that has been noted by our stewards. But safety car is out. I would describe this as a fairly bruising affair so far. Nobody's taken any prisoners, but I think the progress of Flint Schering is certainly something of a headline so far, but we're going to have to slow everything down. And it looks like Ariel Levy is going no further. Right, let's have a look, see what happened here. So we're looking into the corner, and it was contact by the looks of things. So Wouter Burkamp had dropped down the order. He's been shown in 6th place, so he'd gone out wide, I think, and then getting together with Ariel Levy. Also there, Huban Eindhoven as well. Now, they are all running for Team GP Elite, so it might be another team with some awkward conversations over lunch later on today. The 3 Team GP Elite cars getting together. I don't think Huban Eindhoven was especially involved, but certainly the contact between Wouter Burkamp and Ariel Levy has resulted in Levy's race coming to a premature end. And Ariel, who's having a fairly tough run of it at the moment, he has been Mr. Consistency. Sachsenring, he got spat out of the pack, was distinctly grumpy about the outcome of that after the race there. Up until then, has been very much consistent, scoring the points just always there or thereabouts. And it's not often you see a non-finish from Ariel Levy. Certainly he's finished every race this season in the top 9. And for most of them, a lot higher than that. So he will be fairly despondent about that. Of course, he will be able to come back and do it all again tomorrow, but that will be his race done for today. So let's just have a look. Flint Schering started in 16th place on the grid and has made his way up to 7th. So that is some serious overtaking from Flint Schering. He secured the rookie championship in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup a couple of weeks ago. He secured it with a round to spare. He secured the rookie championship in this series on the last lap of the last race of the season last year. Of course, he's no longer a rookie, so he's very much in the hunt for the overall championship. I think realistically, he would need Alessandro Ghiretti and Robert de Haan to have a significant amount of bad luck to get himself into the hunt, because he's 70 points behind. But he's certainly a real challenger, a real star. Of course, the younger brother of Maurice Schering, DTM superstar and Le Mans 24-hour winner as well. So something in the genes, I think. At the moment, de Haan, his fellow countryman, the Dutch driver, leading the way, doing what he needs to do. He needed to come here today. He needed to win this race. But Alessandro Ghiretti in the Schumacher CLRT car has proven to be very quick. Janis Stiak is now in the last of the podium position. So whatever occurred with Wouter Burkamp, has seen him drop to 6. Huber van Eindhoven, who's been looking so quick in all the free practice and qualifying sessions here. Spoiler alert, if everything remains as it is, Huber van Eindhoven will be starting from pole position for tomorrow's race. So 5th place here, and potentially a good haul of points tomorrow as well would do him no harm at all. He's 3rd in the championship. He's 69 points back. So again, he would need quite a lot of bad luck to fall in the way of Robert de Haan and Alessandro Ghiretti. But I have to tell you, these two cars that lead the way do have history, have been known to potentially get together, and so anybody in 3rd place, well, often they will consider themselves to maybe be in a good position there. Right, car 14 and 98 to change positions. That's Senna van Serlen and Jan Seifert, so they've been instructed to swap positions. So Senna van Serlen was in 9th place. He's been told to give that back to Jan Seifert, so he drops to 10th. The rookies, Sasha Norden, is going to have Joe Warhurst breathing up his trumpet in any moment now. Norden's in 11th, Warhurst in 12th. Søren Spreng still leads the way in the Pro-Ams. He's in 15th. Ahmed Al-Shihab, 2nd in the Pro-Ams. The Pro-Am leader, Mikael Schrei, in the championship is 3rd and 18th overall. Oh, it's making me ready for lunch, that is. Safety car is in on this lap. We've got a massive crowd here, by the way. Yes, you're on TV. Hello, everybody. It took me a long time early this morning, as it was getting light, to even get into the circuit. Such was the crowd. We're part of the DTM weekend here. Mega popular here at the Red Bull Ring. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany often steal the show, and you can see why, can't you? So safety car has been indicated as in on this lap. So up at turn 7 at the moment, it will be Robert de Haan who will back the pack up. Lights off on the safety car. There's your confirmation. So de Haan will back it up. Ghiretti may well see this as an opportunity to try and get the jump. But keep an eye on Janis Stiak and Alex Tauscher. They are ever the opportunists, and they might want to sneak past Huber van Eindhoven. Pretty useful there. Remember, he is 3rd in the championship, and he will fancy getting himself right back into that championship hunt. Wouter Boerkampf and Flint Schering are behind them. Then it's Theo Overhaus, Jan Seifert and Senna van Serlen. That rounds out the top 10. Then in 11th, Sasha Norden, the leading rookie, with Joe Warhurst just behind him. So this is going to be an interesting 11 3/4 minutes as we get ready to go again. Robert de Haan weaving, he hits the accelerator. It's turn 9, they come down the hill and out onto the pit straight. Now Ghiretti will see this as an opportunity. He's going to get a slipstream. Out of turn 10, they come out along past the pits, up the hill towards turn 1. Søren Spreng taking a wide line out of 10. Now look at Robert de Haan weaving to try and get heat into the tyres, potentially to try and break the toe as well. There's the indication for the penalty lap that has been awarded to Sebastian Freimuth. There's a lock up into turn 1 for Søren Spreng. So here comes our race leader. He's broken clear of Alessandro Ghiretti at the moment. Around turn 2 that they take flat out, then up the very steep hill. There's Huber van Eindhoven having a look to the outside of Alex Tauscher. Ghiretti taking a tighter line into 3. De Haan has him covered off at the moment. Theo Overhaus very wide out of turn 3, as is the case for Mikael Schrei as well. Through the penalty box goes Sebastian Freimuth. He'll have to do that twice. That is going to drop him a long way back, probably to the very back of the pack. But look at this, the battle for the lead. A little nudge from Alessandro Ghiretti. Janis Stiak just waiting to pounce if these two cars get together. 10.5 minutes remaining. Robert de Haan knows that Ghiretti will take advantage if he makes just one mistake. But now Ghiretti, having been the attacker, is now defending from Janis Stiak. Also there, Alex Tauscher, Huber van Eindhoven. Great stuff. This is allowing Robert de Haan just to break clear a little. Still 10.25 minutes remaining. Out along towards turn 9 they come once again. The fighting for position further back continues. You just saw in the background Flint Schering continue his march forwards. There's Theo Overhaus as well. He getting involved. Wouter Boerkampf there in the fight as well. So this was into turn 4. You could see Ghiretti with a little bit of a punt on the exit of 4. He had a look to the outside, ducked back in again. Of course, these cars are built really strong, but the splitter on the front, if they damage the splitter or lose it, the race is effectively over because the car loses all of its downforce and all of its handling. So really important that you're not too feisty with the front bumper. There is Flint Schuring, Theo Overhaus, he's not giving up, is it? Walter Burkampf as well in that fight. There is Sasha Norden. He's got Joe Warhurst on the inside of him. So Joe Warhurst now challenging for the lead in the rookies as well. I don't know where to look here. There's so much going on in this race. Looking back at Theo Overhaus from the perspective of Flint Schuring, who's up into 6th place. What phenomenal progress from him. Right, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then a gap back to Flint Schuring at the moment, but he is marching his way forwards. Theo Overhaus with GP Elite cars all around him, doesn't know where to go. Wouter Burkampf is the next one trying to challenge him. So having been in a podium position, hey, welcome to Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Walter. This is a competitive stuff. There's a target car going heavily into the barrier. Jan Seifert, we saw him going wide. He's been collected by Joe Warhurst as well. That was a big impact into the barrier. So this is certainly going to bring out a safety car. So we saw the back end stepping out. Jan Seifert spearing across the track. Safety car is out, understandably. Now that was quite a big impact, and so Jan Seifert, the barrier designed to absorb the impact. The Porsche car is incredibly safe, designed to fall apart. It looks dramatic, but it's all about absorbing the energy, making sure that the driver is safe. So it's on the exit of turn 10, just towards the pit straight, and that's a real shame for Joe Warhurst because he was challenging for the lead in the rookies at the time. Jan Seifert looked like he had lost, let's see the start of it, but looked like the back end of the car had stepped out. But obviously our main concern is that he's well, and you can see him getting out the car, and that is, I think that's probably gonna that just hurts in more than just bruises and things. You just look at the state of the car and you can just see from his body language how frustrated he is. Joe Warhurst has got a load of damage out of that as well, but the important bit is everybody is well, and Jan Seifert, yeah, well, visibly distressed about the state of his car. Certainly not done it a lot of favours, has it? Target competition, we'll get to work on that car, no doubt get it rebuilt, hopefully get it back out again for tomorrow. But it looks as though Joe Warhurst, well, he's certainly not going to get a podium out of this, is he? At the moment in the rookies, Sasha Norden up to 12th place. Alexandra Vateva up to 2nd in the rookies. Matheus Ferreira, despite that spin earlier on, up to 3rd in the rookies. So that's really impressive. I think this is going to take a few minutes to get this cleaned up. We're up on the exit of turn 10 at the moment. I think it's at turn 10 or is it to turn 9? But the car's just crawling past. Let's have another look here. Now, what happened? There was Wouter Burkampf. Right, so there's Jan Seifert. And they're just moved to the inside of Theo Overhaus, getting onto the grass. Don't think there was any contact between them, but of course, back end stepping out, and oof, that was a big impact into the barrier. Barrier doing what it's meant to do, and that is moving, and Joe Warhurst just with nowhere to go, but he was on the outside of Sasha Norden at the time, challenging for the lead in the rookie race. So that is a real shame for Joe as well. Looking back from the perspective of Flint Schuring, and I just think it was good, clean, hard racing. The stewards are going to take a look at it. And this is the perspective from Keanu Blum. And Theo Overhaus just moving across to defend his position, but everybody behind getting showered with debris. Sasha Norden managed to avoid it as well. And then the big impact. It looks dramatic, all the bits falling off the car, but it's exactly what we need, and that is to absorb the impact. So the bodywork protecting the driver, the fence moving to protect the driver as well, all the energy getting absorbed. And Joe Warhurst made a fairly sizable impact as well. And Jan Seifert, I don't think he's injured, but I just think that you look at the damage to the car and you just think, oh my word, and he's just so frustrated by that. Real shame for Jan Seifert. He had been doing a great job, and up until now, was looking to have one of his best finishes of the season. He's had a couple of 15th places. He had a 10th place, actually, at Zandvoort, but certainly was in a very strong position. Joe Warhurst, well, certainly the front left of the car has picked up a bit of damage. Joe's all okay as well. He won't thank me for saying it, but he managed to get one of these on his roof over the winter. But again, that wasn't his fault either. But Joe was buzzing after quali yesterday and really fancied moving to the top of the Rookie Championship. Well, it's not going to happen in this race. And Sasha Norden is looking set fair to pick up maximum points in the rookies. There is the aforementioned dented fence. A lot of debris. I'm wondering if this thing's going to get going. With the clock keeps running when behind the safety car, but it's really important on a track like this, where the cars are reaching 235 kilometers an hour at the end of the straights. Really important that we don't risk punctures, and getting the debris up is really important. And Robert de Haan will be doubly convinced about that, and we've got a red flag. So red flag is out, and the cars will be brought to a stop again with all the debris out on the track. Right, that's the view of Joe Warhurst bumping over the curbs. There is Michael Schrei, the leader in the Pro-Ams. I barely mentioned him. He's into third in the Pro-Ams in this race. So the cars are going to be brought to a stop. Now, the question is whether close racing, I think so. Esplin sharing a Theo Eberhaus, getting up close and personal into turn one. This is why we love Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Proper close racing. Unfortunately, we do occasionally get the incidents like we had. Right, race will not be resumed, so slightly anticlimactic end. I think after the last race that we had with Robert de Haan, he'll be very grateful for that, because it means he's going to take the win. Alessandro Ghiretti in second. Janis Stierk is going to take third. In the rookies, it's going to be a win for Sasha Norden. Alexandra Vateva on debut, second in the rookies. Congratulations there. Matheus Ferreira, despite the spin at the beginning of the race, will get a podium in the rookies. And in the Pro-Am, Søren Sprague is going to take the win ahead of Ahmed Al-Shihab. Michael Schrei in third place. So good points there for Schrei. Ahmed Al-Shihab will close in slightly on the points standings. Now, because we've run for a couple of laps behind the safety car, if the race had been stopped a bit quicker, Joe Warhurst would have got a podium out of the rookies, but we've been running behind the safety car, so sadly for Joe, it's going to be a fifth place in the rookies. So not the points that he wanted out of that. So cars will be brought to the pit lane, and de Haan will make his way to the podium. So, as I say, slightly anti-climactic end, but safety first. And with that amount of debris and a bit of damage to the fence, I think it was a very wise decision. Right, so let's have a look at the points here then, while the car drivers are getting from the out of the cars. De Haan onto the roof. So it means that the gap between first and second reduces to 29 points. So de Haan gets 25 points for a win. Ghiretti gets 20 points for a second. So it means there's a 29-point gap. So suddenly de Haan getting himself back into it. In the rookie standings, Sasha Norden once again getting himself into a good, strong position at the lead of the rookies. Alexandra Vateva is a guest driver, so second in the rookies will go to Ferreira. Third, I'm doing calculations live here. Third will go to Oscar Bixrud. Good job from him, by the way. That's in terms. No, he doesn't get points either. Yes, he does. He's a substitute driver. So Joe Warhurst will get points for fourth place in the rookies. So his gap between first and second is 13. So not insurmountable, but certainly gives Sasha Norden a bit of breathing room. For the Pro-Am drivers, Søren Sprague gets maximum points. Michael Schrei, he is third. Ahmed Al-Shihab second. So I got my shoes and socks off here doing the calculations. Their gap
So 16 points will go to Michael Schrei for that third, 20 to Ahmed Al-Shahab, so he'll have 228, and Michael Schrei will have 260. So about 32 points a gap between first and second. So Schrei still in control of the Pro-Ams. The overall race, though, Robert de Haan, well, I'm working all that out. He's got out the car. He's now posing for the photographs. He'll be really happy with that. It'll go some way to make up for the mega disappointment of the Sachsenring. And Janis Stiak, shout out to him. He's 8th in the points championship, so not really a contender for the championship, but good podium there, just keeping out of trouble. Flint Schuring finished in 6th place, so kept himself in the championship hunt. Also, Huub van Eindhoven in 5th place, and Alex Tauscher in 4th. So some good solid drivings. Walter Boerkamps, having been in a podium position for a while, you saw him getting a little bit involved, finished in 7th place, ahead of Theo Uberhaus. Senna van Serlen in 9th. Marvin Klein was very disappointed with 10th. Keanu Blum, I think, will be pretty happy with 11th place. He's had a couple of 9ths this season, so not his best of the season, but certainly a good job there. So, I mentioned the enormous crowd here. A lot of people queuing to get in to the Red Bull Ring this morning, and they will have witnessed a very dramatic race 13 of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. As we look again at the overall championship race, Robert de Haan ahead of Alessandro Ghiretti, Janis Stiak, Alex Tauscher, Huub van Eindhoven, Flint Schuring, Walter Boerkamp, and Theo Uberhaus rounding out the top 8. There's your confirmation of the remaining places. Senna van Serlen, good job there. Into 9th, head of Marvin Klein. Keanu Blum on his home race. Then the winner in the rookies, Sascha Norden, ahead of Jonas Greif. Søren Spreng, who's had an up and down season, more down than up, I think he'd say, was ahead of Gianluca Tucciaroglu. There was Ahmed Al-Shahab in there as well. Michael Schrei, Michael Essmann. It's starting to drop out of the championship hunt, really. And Alexandra Vateva getting second in the rookies ahead of Matheus Ferreira. Joe Warhurst, what a shame. He qualified 6th, dropped back, was fighting his way back through the pack, challenged for the lead in the rookies and caught up in someone else's accident. But he'll dust himself off. Hopefully, Proton Huber Competition will get that car back together and he'll be back tomorrow. Proton Huber Competition, who also prepare the car that crossed the line first. Robert de Haan did nothing wrong, just everything right in this race. Put it on pole, fended off a fairly sizable attack from Alessandro Ghiretti in the early stages. Then opened up that gap and brought it home to take maximum points and top step of the podium. So there's a few investigations that are going on by the race stewards, but nothing that I think will affect the results at the top of the table. Proton Huber Competition, who prepare the cars, been part of this series for many, many years. Just waiting on for their driver. Let's have a look now at those points. Do they tie it with mine? Ghiretti, 29 points. It's a miracle if they do. 29 points clear of de Haan. So Huub van Eindhoven, 78 points back. So, yeah, well, it does actually tie up with what I suggested. So, in fact, after this, 75 points remaining. So it does mean that Huub van Eindhoven, Flint Schuring are no longer mathematically in the championship hunt. So it really is now down to just the 2 drivers. I wondered whether Huub might just still be in it, but he's not. So 78 points back with 75 points remaining. So coming into this race, we had 9 drivers still in the championship hunt. 7 have been eliminated in that one race. 75 points on the table. It is a two-horse race. We're set for a rematch of what we've been watching in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup, and that has been a bruising affair as well. It is Robert de Haan versus Alessandro Ghiretti. The rookies, though, and the Pro-Ams, still plenty more to come from them as well. As we just wait now just for the drivers to make their way up into the podium. It's actually a fair old trek up to the podium from the pit lane. And the drivers need to get themselves up there, dust themselves off. And then in a few moments, they will emerge to receive their trophies. Sun shining here. Tomorrow, the race tomorrow is at 11:15 local time. So the weather forecast is suggesting there might be some rain in the air, but we'll find out about that. You can never tell here. As Janis Stiak comes onto the third step of the podium. Alessandro Ghiretti picking up 20 points. The lead in the championship shrinks slightly, but Robert de Haan did what he came to do today. He started on pole position and he led every single lap. From Proton Huber Competition, I believe we've got Bruno Roman, race mechanic, who will accept the trophy on behalf of the team. But now the national anthem. So for Robert de Haan, that was his 5th win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Torsten Rücker, project manager, customer support of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Porsche Deutschland, does a phenomenal job. Who presents the trophy to Janis Stiak. Another one heading the way of France in the hands of Alessandro Ghiretti. But it's the Dutch driver, Robert de Haan, who picks up his 5th win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, keeps himself in the championship hunt. Some valuable points for Proton Huber Competition as well, as they go head-to-head with Schumacher CLRT in the team championship. So we pause for a few moments for the photographs before the champagne is uncorked and the celebrations start. And we tick off race 13 in what is proving to be a classic year for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Only 3 races left this season. It is now a 2-horse race for the championship. The next chapter, race 14, commences tomorrow. Going to be at about 11:15 local time. Join us here at the Red Bull Ring for the next race. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.